A new report just out from Truth in Accounting ranks the top 75 cities in America on their financial health. In Baltimore, as you can see right there, ranks at the bottom, coming in at 67th and earning a D grade. This morning, CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski, is joining us live to break down these findings. Adam, this is not what we want to see here. How accurate do you think these results are?
Well, the organization Truth in Accounting, they're part of the Daniels School of Business at the University of Denver. They're CPAs, so the report's accurate. Baltimore has about $4 billion worth of cash on hand or assets to pay nearly $7 billion worth of bills. Yes. That's $6.9 billion that they owe. So they're underwater by $3 billion roughly, and that amounts to $14,100 per taxpayer. So, you know, it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah, that's not a good debt situation there. What are the long-term impacts that the taxpayers are going to feel from this? And how do you fix that?
So the city's conferring retirement benefits to the city workers that are just unsustainable. They're making promises. They're not funding those benefits in the retirement pension system and the retiree health care. So two drivers of the unfunded liabilities are those two systems. But on the other side, you've got the city spending too much. They've borrowed and bonded the taxpayer right there in the city to the tune of $4.6 billion. And that's actually the #1 driver of the amount of liabilities is that borrowing. So they're just spending too much on top of providing promises that they're just not funding for city workers.
Very interesting. As we look at this report, Adam, the cities that are ranking towards the top, what are they doing and what can Baltimore city leaders perhaps learn from some of these results?
Well, Washington, D.C., incredibly, on a financial basis, is the best, has the best situation out of the top 75 largest cities in the country. So Washington, D.C., every single taxpayer, there's a surplus there. Every single taxpayer is owed over $10,000, which is a stark difference to Baltimore, where every single taxpayer owes $14 grand. Now, the peer cities, you know, that Baltimore is ranked up against are places like Pittsburgh or Jacksonville, Florida, New Orleans, Portland, Oregon, you know, other places in the world where things aren't running so well.
You know, it could be a wake-up call. When you look at those, the five that are beneath us there, we're 7th from the bottom there. Portland, Philadelphia, Honolulu, Chicago, New York City, the worst financial health. You know, at that point, when you're in that bottom 10, can you take some tips from some of the other places?
Yeah, I mean, for instance, right there in Baltimore, look, there's a ton of taxes being paid, even an income tax on people. So you got sales tax, property tax, income tax, you've got user fees and permits. Don't forget the red light and speed cameras. Right. So a ton of taxes. It's basically a spending problem. This report shows that the city of Baltimore received nearly $800 million in COVID grants. That income tax collections are up nearly 10%. Mm-hmm. So they're just spending too much at the end of the day. It's not a revenue problem, Megan, it's a spending problem at the city.
And, you know, it should come as no surprise. Adam, you and I have talked about this in the last couple of months as well. It's just seeing it in writing, you know, is realization for many. Thank you very much for your time, Adam, and highlighting. And for those of you at home who are just curious as I am, the top 5 was D.C., as he mentioned, Irvine, Plano, Lincoln, and Oklahoma City rounds it out. Thank you, Adam.